Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2 and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this afternoon. Now, as you see, y'all, we are out in nature. I just wanted to get out in nature with you guys today for this read. Certainly, just a different place and a different atmosphere. So while I read to you, I'm going to be receiving the vitamin D, like taking a bath in the sun while we read. Now, what we gonna read today, what I have for you, is we have coping with your partner's jealousy. Here on Poem Praise 2, we are currently on chapter number 3, and this is going to be take 2. The title of this section is entitled Control. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and make it through this section. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Okay, without further ado, it reads as such. Control. Although it may not seem like it, people who try to control others are really attempting to control themselves. They feel they must have order, influence over others, and power if they are to survive and feel safe. Their world is one of insecurity, uncertainty, and danger to the self. They fear that their self will not be able to exist if they cannot control everything around them. Internal states in controlling behavior include the following: a need for certainty, a need for reduction or elimination of ambiguity. I don't know if I said that correctly. I'm going to spell that word for you. It's Ambiguity. The desire for reassurance that the self can survive, a yearning for the conviction that one is competent and capable, some measure of omnipotence and grandiosity about personal responsibility, a constant feeling of danger and insecurity. To a person who feels the need to control others, the world is full of hostile forces bent on destroying him, and it is only through his efforts and these forces can be thwarted and self can survive. These forces are both external and internal, and they operate on the psyche level. They may be real danger in the person's world, but the discussion here focuses on psychic dangers, potential, real, and fantasized. Everyone can appreciate having some order, predictability, and rationality in their lives. Although you may want some excitement, novelty, and surprises, you don't want a constant dose of these. Living in such situations produce considerable stress, and that takes a toll on your physical, psychological, and emotional self. You stay in an enduring state of tension so that you can be prepared to cope with, repel, or fight whatever comes your way. Examples of extreme circumstances include the following: war experiences, prison sentence, living with a substance abuser, addiction, yours or that of someone living with you, physical abuse, family violence, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. The person who has experienced any of these during his lifetime stays uneasy and unsure of when and how he will be hurt or destroyed, but is very aware of the possibility. Circumstances can be less extreme and less debilitating, but nevertheless, still produce an environment where the unexpected is the norm. Examples of these include insecure employment of one or more parents, parental depression, marital discord, poverty, living in a neighborhood that is not safe, an emotional disturbed family member, divorce, especially where it is not amicable, Amicable, and a chaotic family life. If your jealous partner experienced one or more of these as he or she was growing up, he may have a deep seated and strong need for control in his world so that he or she can feel safe. This need extends to other people and their behavior. He is not aware just how deep the need is or its roots. He's just trying to feel safe and secure because his need is on the unconscious level. His unawareness of it means that he does not understand it, cannot manage and contain it, and may use ineffective ways to try to get the need for control met. The need exerts a powerful influence on his feelings, behaviors, attitudes, and expectations, and extends to everything in his life. Insufficient psychological boundaries, strength, can also play an important role in the strong attempt to control others. When a person has not developed sufficient psychological boundaries, understanding, let me repeat that, because I kind of made a word that was singular, plural, which may change the interpretation of the sentence. Okay, so we're going to start that sentence all over again. When a person has not developed sufficient psychological boundary, understanding, he can have an incomplete sense of where he ends and where others begin. He can see other people as extensions of himself and as under his control. He cannot perceive anyone else as a separate and distinct person who is independent and autonomous. He is also unaware of this perception and cannot imagine that there are other ways of perceiving self and others. Lack of boundary, strength, and perceptions of others as extension of self are discussed further in the section of underdeveloped narcissism and in chapter 5. So we're going to get to that because we're in chapter 3 right now. In chapter 5, on family of origin factors. So certainly going to get to the family and break down some factors regarding family matters. Now, I do thank you for your attention this afternoon here from me to you, Poem Praise 2, for our read from Coping with Your Partner's Jealousy. So you can like, share, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell, and you'll know when I'm coming with another read from me to you. It's Poem Praise 2. So I want for you to be well, to be safe, to take care, and it be at thy will. I'll talk with you soon, okay? Here on Poem of Praise 2. So until next time, later, y'all.